Late in 2025, a string of real-world towing tests exposed something the auto industry had been quietly hoping nobody would notice. How does a truck with a six-figure price tag, one marketed as the future of hauling, completely fall apart the moment you hitch something to it? Why are companies like Ford and GM aggressively pushing a technology that, by the laws of physics, cannot do what a truck is supposed to do? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the electric truck towing scandal. We're going to walk through the energy math that nobody in a showroom will ever show you, and explain exactly why buying an electric truck for actual work isn't just a bad decision, it's financial self-destruction. Walk into any dealership right now and you'd be forgiven for thinking the electric revolution is already here. The ads show the Ford Lightning and the Chevy Silverado EV gliding down scenic highways, massive trailers in tow, drivers looking perfectly relaxed. That image is carefully engineered fiction. What's actually happening is that an entire industry is trying to make one technology impersonate another, and the numbers simply don't cooperate. A diesel truck is a purpose-built working machine. An electric truck is an expensive consumer gadget wearing a hard hat. Here's the number that unravels the whole electric truck story: 33. 1 gallon of regular gasoline holds 33 kilowatt-hours of usable energy. Diesel? Nearly 38. It's compact, it's energy-dense, and you can carry 30 gallons of it in a standard tank without breaking a sweat. Now compare that to the battery in a top-tier electric pickup. The extended range pack, the one that costs you an extra $10,000, stores around 131 kilowatt-hours. That sounds impressive until you realize that this 2,000-pound slab of lithium cells holds the same energy as roughly 4 gallons of gasoline. 4 gallons. Picture trying to haul a loaded camper from Denver to Cheyenne on 4 gallons of gas. You wouldn't make it out of the city. And that's not a hypothetical. That's what's happening on the road right now. Here's why it gets worse when towing comes into the picture. An empty truck slips through the air reasonably well. The moment you hook up a travel trailer, a boat, or a flatbed, you've essentially bolted a wall to the back of your vehicle. Wind resistance explodes. Energy consumption can triple in a matter of seconds. A diesel truck responds by pulling from a deep fuel reserve. An electric truck responds by watching its battery percentage crater. Real-world owners have reported ranges below 85 miles while towing a standard camper or mid-size boat. That's not a truck. That's an overpriced airport shuttle with a hitch ball. But degraded range is only the first problem. The second one hits you at the charging station, and it's arguably worse. Most fast chargers were designed with sedans in mind. They're tucked into tight parking lots with nose installs. If you're pulling a 28-foot travel trailer, you're not fitting in those spots. You've got two options, and both are miserable. You either park sideways and block a row of chargers, or you unhook your trailer in the parking lot, drive up to the stall alone, wait 45 minutes to an hour, and then hitch everything back up. Then repeat that process every 80 to 90 miles. A trip that should take 5 hours becomes a 9-hour exercise in frustration. We solved this exact problem a century ago. Pull-through gas stations exist specifically because people haul things. Electric charging infrastructure has walked that progress straight backward. Now add weather into the equation, because it only gets uglier. Lithium-ion batteries operate best in mild temperatures. Once you drop below freezing, the electrochemical process inside each cell starts to slow. The battery management system kicks in to warm the pack, pulling power just to maintain basic function. So if you're towing a trailer through a January morning in Wisconsin or Montana, you're not just fighting the weight and the headwind. You're fighting the chemistry of the battery itself. Independent cold weather towing tests have shown range losses exceeding 50% in freezing conditions. That 85-mile towing range just became 40 miles. Meanwhile, a diesel engine is practically happier in cold air. Denser air means better combustion and more torque. Cold weather is a diesel's friend. It's an electric truck's enemy. The automakers are fully aware of all of this. But the bet they're making is that you won't think it through until the ink is already dry on your purchase agreement. They're selling you ambient lighting, massive touchscreens, frunk storage, and 0 to 60 bragging rights. They're selling you an aesthetic, the idea of being environmentally responsible while still looking tough. What they are not selling you is a tool that can do a real day's work. The engineers building these trucks aren't incompetent. The problem is that they're not building for the customer. They're building for the compliance checklist. Government emissions mandates have become the primary design constraint, and capability has been quietly moved to second place. So does this mean towing is dead? Absolutely not. It means you need to stop chasing the future and start investing in what already works. If you're serious about towing and you want a drivetrain that won't strand you in a truck stop parking lot in the middle of nowhere, there are 3 engine platforms that have earned their reputation the hard way. First, the Ford 7.3-liter Godzilla V8. A big displacement, cast-iron gasoline engine built to last decades. It's not flashy. It just works year after year. Second, the pre-def 5.9-liter Cummins inline-6. This is the benchmark diesel. Before emissions hardware started stacking up and adding failure points, this engine was legendary for longevity and brute pulling power. Third, the 5.7-liter Toyota 2UZ FE. The engine underneath older Tundras and Sequoias that routinely crossed the 300,000-mile mark without drama. Toyota chased power figures with turbos and left reliability on the table, but the original? That thing was nearly indestructible. The industry's message is that the future belongs to electricity. But the guys who actually haul things for a living, the ones with trailer hitches worn smooth from years of use, they'll tell you something different. Batteries belong in your phone. Iron belongs under your hood. Stop shopping for a status symbol. Shop for something that gets the job done. Stick to the proven platforms, pay for fuel like you always have, and you'll be the one arriving at the campsite on time, while somewhere behind you, an electric truck is sitting in a parking lot with 8% battery, waiting for an open charger.